Oh yeah, let's do constructive criticism from the elders.
Let's go.
Let's do that. So Ice-T and KRS-One. Now on People.com it says they blast the current state of hip hop. I don't look at this as a blast. I look at this as constructive criticism from the OGs. Right. The comments that jumped out to me were more from Ice-T versus KRS-One. So this is an interview where they're talking about the anniversary of the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and obviously the state of hip hop is going to come up, right, in the conversation at some point. I'm going to read a couple comments from the homie Ice-T. We know we have a huge Ice-T fan on the show.
Yeah, you do.
Check this out and let me know if you guys are. Phone is stupid. Check this out and let me know if you guys agree with constructive criticism versus old people get off my lawn. All right. So Ice-T says, I think people from my generation are really upset with what's going on with the youngsters because every week somebody's going to jail. People are dying off drugs and killing each other. And he goes on to say, in my generation, we lost Tupac, we lost Biggie, and we got the memo. Everybody calm down. We all figured this out. We were rapping to get out of the streets. He continued to say, but the youngsters who are out here behaving like that, these kids are millionaires. So I don't know how many young people got to get lost. I don't know which one might trigger that message, but I think it's time for the generation to get a hold of itself. I don't take that as pointing the finger and this, and this, and we were better than y'all. I take that as a fair assessment and constructive criticism. To that, you guys say what?
I have no problem with this just because also, once again, I'm the oldest of the new old heads.
Right.
And, I'm not ashamed to say my age. I'm 46. And I've said this multiple times. I want to impart wisdom and give game to these young people in the best way that I can. I don't want to point my finger at them because these are my children. Right. Okay. But he's right. Every time when I see, and a lot of times I don't know who they are when I get alerts from the hip hop websites or from whatever. And it's like so-and-so rapper shot 5 times.
I never know who they are.
I don't know who they are because, I'm probably just out of the demographic. You know what I'm saying? Just like when I listened to Uzi's new album, I got to like maybe 3 or 4 records and I was like, yeah, I'm checked out of this. This is not me.
I know some, I'll be honest, I know some of the artists because I have family members that are younger that I'll have conversations with and and it's like a running joke at this point. It's like, oh, you old Mike, you don't know about XYZ. And they know the names of all these people.
Right.
So through conversations, sometimes I'll know, like I hadn't listened to, I can't cap and say that I listened to a lot of P&B Rock's music, but I knew of him.
Yeah. And my whole thing is like, look, man, we've seen what it is when people make the wrong decisions. And when we try to impart some kind of wisdom and say, hey, young man, slow down, we're not hating. We see what the end result of this is.
That's how it is.
And we want better for you. See, the thing is like, at one point, I think maybe there was an overabundance of older rappers or older hip hop fans that were hating on young because we didn't understand the tight clothes and eye makeup and wearing choker chains and like when I don't get it. Right. But just because I don't get it doesn't mean I don't want the best for them. Even when we talked about the industry plant.
Which one?
Well played.
Yes.
Lone is over here.
Sexy Red?
Yeah, Sexy
I see
Red.
Podding.
I really want good things for that young lady. I don't want her to take her moment, spend all her money, and then be used up and kicked to the curb.
I agree.
Because that's what this game does. I don't want her to be like to sell her dignity for attention. And like I said, 50 pieces of silver and then be cast aside. And we talk about in 2 years, oh, remember Sexy Red?
True.
I want the best for these young people, but if a little bit of criticism has to come with it, then that's just what it has to be because as older people, that's what we're supposed to do.
Sometimes we miss it when we're younger. You know what I'm saying? But
we always miss it when we're younger because we're in
9 times out of 10, we're going to miss it when we're younger.
It's just like, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Bronx Tale and Sonny was trying to tell C to slow down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't get in that car. Don't do this. Don't do that, C. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like, why would you tell me to slow down and stop having fun and I'm with my friends and I'm getting money and this, that, and the third? We want you to get your money. We want you to enjoy yourself, but we want you to enjoy yourself for a long time.
I think too, we live in a very, very much, and we've touched on this on the show, and I don't know how this correlates to our generation and before, but we live in a very much an instant gratification culture.
You're talking about luck. You're talking about being very fortunate to be able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions. A lot of these people are they're very successful in what I would call like the demo phase, right? Mm-hmm. And you are lucky and you are fortunate to be able to be in the spotlight as you learn, because a lot of people, the attention to quality and stuff to me has dropped down on the mainstream so low as to the point now where this is looked at as quality because it's popular. Like, long as it's there, this is the standard. Right. Mm-hmm. That's the way I see it. Like, that's just how I look like it's perceived to me. Well, she made it, so this must be the standard, right?
Yeah, she got to the BET Awards.
She got there, so this must be the standard.
Right.
Lone's point as it relates to being a creative and somebody that's been around, and we all are in different forms, you can see the difference, right? So we're going to watch it different. We're going to hear it different. We see that. But I don't think you're too off when you say lucky. I don't think
I'm off at all.
Okay, I don't want to make sure that you didn't think. I agree with you is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, like, I don't want it to come across as like, to Jay's point, like, you know, these people are like kids. I feel like this goes across to every industry. Imagine, let's take this out of the realm of music just really quickly.
Okay.
Imagine you get out of college and this is like I was an engineer. Mm-hmm. You go to work for a company as an engineer. I was a junior engineer. But imagine if they had me up there as the senior engineer and I'm projecting projects that actually affect people's lives and everything, and I'm building bridges and I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to get critiqued and you're going to get ramifications for that. There's no equivalent to that in the music industry except just more popularity.
We talked about, I think we talked about this a few episodes back in some form or something. It's like the Twitter account.
False exports.
Yes. And then ESPN started referencing that. Somebody referenced that. It's the exact same thing. These people they're here, right? It's just like the music. All these demo phase records that are getting popular online, they're right there with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. And we're using Shorty as an example. She's right there.
Yeah, and she shouldn't be. Like, she's on nowhere on the same level.
It's not even close.
She has not put in the amount of work. And it's not, like I said, we're not.
It's not hating that
we're not hating.
We're analyzing.
But I've seen what I've seen. 20 plus years in radio and records, working in clubs,
right,
doing journalism. I was like, I just don't want her to be used quickly and thrown away.
There are artists in Indianapolis that I see doing the same exact thing, trying the same exact thing all the time.
I think we're thinking the same people.
We are.
Oh, for sure.
We are.
For sure.
And it's just like, I see it and it's like, if it works, cool for you. Are you in music for the music and the culture and you want to make money off of the thing that you're doing? Or are you just using music as a means to an end?
There's a lot of people we can point out. You can go find an artist right now and just say, yeah, this dude is just really rapping to get cheese. Like, you can, the music is going to speak for itself. We can see it. You know, the average consumer may not be able to. There's no shot to the consumer. My ears are different. Yours are different. Yours are different. You can see when it's literally about, I'm just trying to get to this paper.
No, we talk about moment music.
Yeah, get your money if that's what you are, but don't get mad when you get critiqued. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we bring up certain aspects of your game and the flaws because I just don't see it that way.
But that's just part of it. You know, like I've run into this in the comments section sometimes when people comment on our stuff that aren't really a part of anything that we're talking about. Like we are a hip hop podcast. We talk about the different things that happen in hip hop culture. For example, again, if we talk about Eminem and we talk about how he's not making jams, but your argument is, well, he's selling records. You're not talking about, you don't belong in our conversation.
You missed it.